Hello, I'm Stephen Graves and my selected topic is conducting in music. So conducting is in a band or an orchestra when you have that person at the front that's waving their hands, and what that does is it decides the time of the music, so how fast a song is played, but it also decides kind of how you play the song. So a conductor can be the difference between a march style and say a funeral style. So last week I talked about some of the basics of conducting, like the different time signatures and how to conduct those and how to make it clear where every beat is. But this week I'm going to be talking a little bit more about the intricacies of conducting. So the things that you can do to create a little more musicality than just setting a beat. So one of the most important things to remember when you're conducting, and I found this on musescore.com, is that not everything is hard and fast when it comes to conducting. There's no real rules, because I'm a drum major myself, and I know that when I'm conducting, it kind of just comes down to what I feel is the most effective way to get the band to do what I'm thinking in my head. Like, what does the song sound like in my head, and how am I going to get it across to them? This is how it's supposed to play. Because if you've ever heard a electronic arrangement of a song where it's like different instruments and they're supposed to play this arrangement of a song, it sounds completely different than if you have the instruments on the computer play it versus a band play it, because a band can create more musicality. We can create natural loud and soft, and we can hold notes for different lengths, and we can just create an entirely different feel than a computer can. So a good conductor tries to create not computer music. So one of the different ways that you can do that is there's different cues and different, like in a cue you can tell the band to get louder, which is a crescendo, and Merriam-Webster defines a crescendo as a gradual raise in volume. And then there's also decrescendos, which you cue down, and a decrescendo is the exact opposite of a crescendo. You fade away in sound. In a crescendo you get louder, decrescendo you get quieter. So if you're playing a song, you can really emote and build up to the climax of the song by having rising and falling in the piece until you get to the one big moment where you do a big crescendo up, and then once you hit the top of the song you want to come back down, because it's like climbing a mountain. A good analogy that my band director uses is you are, the audience are people on a dining cart in a train, and you want them to enjoy their food, and you want to slow down, so you kind of want the music to pick up slowly with the, not necessarily in tempo, but in how you're building the song to the climax. You don't want to make a big abrupt jump, because then people's food is going to end up on their face in the dining car. So you want to build up and then build back down, and the ways that you can do that, with your crescendos and decrescendos, you can also decide how long a note should be held. So you usually conduct cues with your left hand, but it depends on which hand you prefer to use. Like I said, there's not really any rule. So you use one hand to continue the beat, and use your other hand to do your cues. So one cue would be a hold. So an example, during the Star Spangled Banner, during the longer notes, you hold on the notes that you want to make, and you want to make sure that the band knows, okay, hold it for until my hand closes like this. So an example, oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early. So I want you could see that when my fingers close, the music stops. So if you're conducting to an entire band, they know, okay, when I see the fingers touch, I need to stop playing it. So everyone in the band should play the same length note, which sounds better than just the kind of scattered sound. A good conductor can be the difference between a good band and a bad band, because everyone is together. You want all of your releases to be together and off, like a big wall of sound suddenly just stops. And you don't have any more sound, and it makes a clean cutoff, and it makes a band sound professional. So you have your cue, or we've talked about crescendos, decrescendos, and we've talked about cutoffs and holds, and like I said, facial structure the way that you emote to a band can be really important, because if you're playing a sad song, you want the band to feel it. You want to make sure that they know what they're playing. So you want to kind of try to emote the feeling of the song as you're going through it in your face, because your face is one of your most powerful tools. As we've learned, nonverbal communication is just as important as verbal communication when you're telling someone what to do, and it goes the same with music. So these are just a couple of the reasons that I think that conducting is one of the most important aspects of a good band, and I hope you learn a little bit more about music and not just conducting with my speech. So thank you so much for listening to my speech. Have a great day.